With YouTube demonetizing independent media, please consider becoming a patron today for just $1 per month. Link below. Now, this next one here, this is the big news of the day. Jake Gyllenhaal in talks to play Mysterio in Spider-Man Homecoming sequel. Now, when I first heard this morning, I was trying to wake up. My brain was kind of like, wait, what? Like they're going Mysterio? Like they're introducing Mysterio? And yet we still don't have a proper Mary Jane. I mean, I know their kind of stuff goes down, down the road, at least in terms of the animated series. But that's kind of an odd one to me. Like Mysterio is an odd choice. But then again, we've had 2 Green Goblins, you know, and the second one didn't really fare out too well. We've had 1 Doc Ock who was perfect. 2 Venoms, technically, we haven't seen what the second one can do yet. And yeah, so I mean, so they probably want to pull from the outside. Now it says here, reports begin to swirl this morning about a possible villain from the Spider-Man Homecoming sequel. Multiple sites reported that Jake Gyllenhaal is in talks to play the classic Spider-Man foe Mysterio, who will be the villain for the 2019 movie. UK tabloid The Sun was allegedly the first to report the potential casting before it was picked up by more reputable sources. Now, but this is the thing though, The Sun's article doesn't appear to be online anymore. So you have to ask yourself what these reputable sources, which I mean, obviously is everyone like Variety or Deadline or Slash Film or whomever, how reputable are they? Right? But anyway, because I just kind of feel like if it's not around anymore, is it still legit? But this is what we're going with today. This is the news of the day. It was reportedly said that producers were originally keen on Ryan Gosling for the role before he had to drop out for other commitments. Matt Damon also previously turned down the role. Now Gyllenhaal is their #1 pick for the Master of Manipulation. While he will be playing the main villain, he will also be joined by a returning Michael Keaton reprising his role from Homecoming as the Vulture. And they're also looking for a new female lead, with rumors possibly pointing towards Gwen Stacy. Now that is cool to me because I thought Michael Keaton kicked it out of the park as Toomes, man. This did such a good job in that role, and I loved Michael Mondo, I think that's his name, who played Scorpion, right? Like, I mean, they hinted at it a little bit. So there's 2 members of the Sinister Six. Mysterio, I mean, could easily be another person. And it goes on to say, we'll have to wait and find out if this is true. And now little is known about the actual plot of the movie so far. So shooting is scheduled to begin this summer under director John Watts for a release date of July 5th, 2019. Filming will take place both here and Europe. And so, yeah, that's all we really know about the movie so far, is just that it's going to be coming out next year. It takes place 4 minutes after the events of Avengers 4, whatever it's going to be called. Like, it just picks up minutes later, which I think is really cool, because it comes out in May, then you have like 2 months to wait until you get to see what like immediately happens next. So it's funny to me that that they're going for Gyllenhaal, because like, I don't know much about the character himself. Like, Mysterio is a character I know tangentially from the animated series. So I think it's going to be interesting to bring him in, but it's not going to end up being like a big draw. You know what I mean? Like when it was at the end of Batman Begins and Commissioner Gordon, or well, Lieutenant Gordon at the time, just hands him the card and says like, you know, oh, this guy's been popping around and it's a Joker card. Like, you know what's coming. And then in the Dark Knight, you know it's the Joker. People went there specifically for the Joker. Well, I think they went originally for Batman, saw how good Heath Ledger was, and then went back multiple times for the Joker. But ultimately, I look at a situation like this and I'm thinking like, this is decent casting because it's a good villain. Jake Gyllenhaal is a great actor. He could bring a lot to this role if the role is written well enough for him, and they're going to clearly need someone to jump into this. Now, we've heard the reports, the rumors that were denied that he was going to be playing Nightwing in the DCEU, and I've even heard some reports like he's going to play like a younger Batman. That was like flowing around. So we don't quite know what is true just yet. I'm hoping that if he does pop up in comic book movies, that Gyllenhaal actually makes his way over to the DCEU rather than Marvel, because I feel like his particular acting chops would be better suited for that world, right? Like for the DC world rather than Marvel, who won't ever push the boundaries in terms of the type of content. It's very homogenized, but it works. Whereas I feel DC is kind of on the verge of going full 20th Century Fox in some regards. Outside of, yes, they are doing some comedies, comedy-esque type stuff, but they're going to do, I don't know. If it were me running the show, I would push for more R-rated content because I feel like that has the ability right now to do a lot better. But we'll have to wait and see what happens with this. Hopefully Marvel will give us a better announcement soon, but I do hope that Michael Keaton does return, because I thought he was one of the best parts of Homecoming, and I can't wait to see him come back to the part.